I'm Jack Canfield, the co-creator of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, and you're watching Conscious Content and Our New Earth.
Hello, I'm Melissa with Conscious Content and Our New Earth TV. I'm here with Jack Canfield, who is the creator of the Chicken Soup for the Soul book series, and he has his own coaching and was even featured in The Secret. So welcome, Jack. Thanks for being here. I'm wondering, what else are you doing that's creating a conscious evolution?
Well, right now I'm working with part of this Conscious Evolutionary Leaders group, and we're working on creating a digital university, a virtual university online to teach courses to help people awaken to their own evolution that's going on inside of them personally, but also to bring that out into the community and also into eventually the whole world. And so I'm part of that. I'm working right now, we've just, in my own company, the Canfield Training Group, we've just this year started an initiative to train trainers around the world to take the work that I do into third world countries and developed countries as well. We trained 84 people this year from 20 countries, and we're going to be doing that for the next 5 years. My goal is to get about 300-400 trainers around the world teaching empowerment, open-heartedness, conflict resolution, how to achieve your dreams. It was fascinating. We had one guy who's working, he's from France, he's working in Iraq, and I didn't know this, but he said goal setting is almost unknown in Iraq. People live in the past, traditions what's important, not the future. And he said just introducing this idea that we could create, consciously choose to create a future that we want rather than just be buffeted along was like a radical new idea. And so I think sometimes we take for granted the things that are the ways we think that are not necessarily common around the world that can be very empowering for people. And so that's probably my main mission at the moment.
Nice. And what else are you doing in this online university to awaken people to their own personal conscious evolution? Can you speak any more details about that?
We're just starting it. It hasn't gone online yet, and it's a conversation that's occurring, and a lot of people today made a commitment to be not only faculty members, but to help in the administration of that. We're working with a number of universities that already have online courses so they can deliver, so we don't have to recreate that whole technical side. But basically courses in 8 areas. I don't have them memorized, but there are things like business, conscious education, dealing with the environment, so we have sustainability in that arena, spiritual evolution, working with the media, how do you use the internet to create transformational change in the world. So it's and health and fitness, more like a health really, in terms of the medical needs around the world that are not being met, and also just what's a holistic approach to health. We see all of the holistic, alternative therapies for cancer and for helping people prevent problems rather than dealing with the symptoms later. So just raising the consciousness about the origin and the roots of what is it that's creating the problems rather than being only treating the symptoms in every area of our life, personally, professionally, and globally.
Beautiful. So how did you start your own personal conscious evolution?
Mine really started back in 1960s. I was going to Harvard 1962 to 66, and it was the beginning of the Vietnam War, and it was also the beginning of the Civil Rights Movement. And both of those really caused me to really examine my values and what I thought was important, and it created a conversation among students at that time about what was really of the highest importance. And at that time I was pretty asleep. I mean, I grew up in West Virginia and I wasn't that awake, but it began to look at racism and began to look at the economics that held that in place and the prejudices. And then it's when I took my first yoga class and I started to meditate, and then I moved to Chicago and I went to Jesse Jackson's church, and I taught in an all-black school for 2 years as a way of trying to contribute to helping empower people that weren't empowered. And it was there that I actually learned about the importance of stories to motivate people, because my students weren't all that motivated. I just wanted to learn everything, and they were like, oh, why do we have to go to school? And so I realized there wasn't a relevant story that they could relate to of people from their community that were being successful. And so I started cutting out pictures and stories and pictures from Jet and Ebony magazine and People and Life, things like that, and put those on the walls of my classroom, and then I would read those stories, a vision board really, and started sharing with them some of the stories, and then they'd be on the edge of their seats, tell me more, where's more? And then I found a book on Black history, and I started teaching African American history as well as the typical history we learn. And I began to realize the power of story to really change people. And that's what led to the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. And now really what we're discussing in the Evolutionary Leaders Group is what is the story that we need to be telling so that people can relate to it and say, yes, that's our unfoldment. That's what I want to aspire to. And so there's this conscious of, you know, weaving together of this new narrative that's going to be the future of our human race.
What would you give people for advice who want to start up a business, say, going towards, you know, bringing this conscious evolution to the world?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, and I don't mean to sound self-serving here, but I wrote a book called The Success Principles, and it's literally 30 years of my experience about what's successful, and I would say read that and other books like it so you really understand there is a psychology of success. It doesn't matter what field you're in, you need to understand certain things like the importance of expectations, having a vision, having a clarified purpose, setting goals, taking action, responding to feedback, the belief in yourself and others, and so on and so forth. And then I would say, you know, whatever business you want to start, come from a place of wanting to serve rather than a place of wanting to get. If you ask yourself the question every day, how can I better serve our clients? How can I better serve our customers? I mean, I heard that Deepak Chopra gets up every morning and his meditation is, how can I be of greater service to a greater number of people today? And when I heard that, I started saying, well, I want to ask myself that every day too, and pray to be guided to be able to do that. And so when I'm thinking about what better serves my clients, what better serves our customers, what better serves the people that are in our seminars, rather than thinking about, you know, the bottom line and how are we going to survive the recession, those kind of things that most business people think about, we're coming from the wrong place. I actually do a demonstration in my workshops. It's a kinesiology exercise where I have people put their arm out. And sure, you want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here's what I'm going to have you do. First of all, don't let me push your arm down.
Okay, resist. Okay.
You push up, I push down. Great.
Yeah, you're barely pushing.
say my name is.
My name is Melissa.
Okay, resist. And then say my name is Marianne.
My name is Marianne.
And resist.
Whoa.
So we know that as soon as you lie, this whole set of muscles goes weak. So there's a number of things we can test, and literally your body will always give us the right answer. But here's what we're talking about in terms of service. Okay. So what I want you to do is close your eyes for just a moment, and I want you to think about a goal you have. And then I want you to think only about how it would serve Melissa if you achieve that goal. You know, you're going to win the Emmy or whatever it is, and people are going to love you, and you're going to, you know, be on the cover of some publication or whatever. Just only think about how it serves you if you achieve that goal.
Okay.
Keep doing that. And then resist. Notice how weak your arm is. Now, what I want you to do is take the same goal. Don't change the goal.
Right.
But only focus on how it would serve your family, your friends, your colleagues, your business associates, the people in the media, the causes you care about. Only think about how it would serve the world. Keep thinking about that. Same goal. Only think about how it'll serve them. And now resist. And notice how strong your arm is. And so what we can do, you can relax and open your eyes. But what we know is that your body is always telling us what is true. And when you are asking a question, is it this way or that way, we see that you're strengthened by focusing on service, you're weakened by focusing on self-interest. So ultimately you actually serve yourself more fully by being in service to others. And I think that's one of the core principles of being successful in business. The third thing is only do a business you're passionate about, something you can't wait to get up and do, that you just love. Like I love to teach and train and do things like we just did there. Some other people love to do arts and crafts. Some other people love to be, you know, real estate agents because they love helping people find the perfect home. So whatever that is, make sure it's something you love and you're passionate about, and then learn as much as you can about it. And then just go out and take risks, and you know you're going to fall on your face, get back up again. You know, I went bankrupt twice in the early days.
Oh, wow.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I had a center I started that didn't work out, and I had a business I started that didn't work out. First book I ever wrote didn't get published, and you know the last book I wrote sold 10 million copies. So you just have to hang in and don't give up. People give up way too soon. Well, for me, conscious evolution is that there is an evolutionary force that's in us, that's growing inside us, that wants to be expressed. Part of that is we each have a unique seed planted in us of our self-expression, whether it's music or art or architecture or, you know, planting trees, whatever it might be, that we are meant to do. And when you tune into that and you do it, you're going to feel joy. So it's to, first of all, notice what is it in me that wants to be expressed. Secondly, do the work of removing your blocks, because what happens is if you've got childhood wounds and limiting beliefs and all that stuff, it's as if the universe is trying to say, hey, wait, this is what you're supposed to do, but there's so much static on the line you can't hear it. So you're not available to inner guidance. So do your personal work. It's important. Meditate, do therapy, do the Sedona method, do EFT, whatever it is.
I was going to say, I actually do EFT. I'm an EFT practitioner. I was wondering what you would recommend for removing those.
EFT is fabulous. It's a great technology. In fact, we're writing a book right now with an EFT person named Pamela Bruner called Tapping Your Way into the Success.
Nice.
Something like
That's
that.
Perfect.
Yeah. Because we're using tapping to remove the blocks to the 64 principles I put in my Success Principles book. For every one of those principles, there's some emotional or intellectual block that's in there, and we've identified what those are and then created tapping routines around each of those. So everyone needs to find their modality, whether it's Byron Katie or the Sedona method or TM meditation or Dr. Haleakala Hughes' work with Ho'oponopono. You can hardly say it, right?
Or just choosing to change.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's just making the commitment to clear the consciousness so that the inner guidance can come through. Because what I've noticed, for example, the Chicken Soup for the Soul book, the title came through a meditation where I said, God, we need a title for this book. And I said, we're going to meditate every day for an hour, and I want you to give me a title. On day 3, I saw a green chalkboard like in school, and his hand came out and wrote Chicken Soup. And I said, I talked to God pretty cavalier. I said, what the hell does chicken soup have to do with this book? And the voice said, when you were sick as a child, your mother gave you chicken soup. I said, this is not a book about sick people. It said people are, their emotions are sick, their spirit is sick. This was the first Gulf War, the first recession we had, it was like 93, and people were depressed. And so basically we said the title ended up being Chicken Soup for the Soul, 101 stories to open the heart and awaken the spirit. And that came through meditation. And if I hadn't been able to do that, if I didn't know how to do that, I wouldn't have got that title. That title was turned down by 144 publishers in New York. They thought it was a stupid title, dumb book. And now that title is a brand. And that brand is worth about $1 billion. So the reality is, as a business person, you have to listen to what it is that's coming through and then have the courage to act on it. Most people are afraid to act on their intuition, act on their inspirations. And I think the thing I would say that's been most key to my success is taking action on the intuitive guidance that I get inside. And I would recommend everyone, if you want to be successful, make sure you do that.